Presented live in front of the internet. Daily fix of tech news and other bits.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Jupiter at Night. My name is Chris.
I'm John.
Hey there, Johnny.
Hey there.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And you picked a good one. Tonight's episode is all about April Fools. We're recording this on the 31st of March.
So tomorrow.
It's April Fool's Eve
Yes,
right now. So tomorrow's
right.
April Fool's. And we thought, why not
Unless you're tricking me about the actual date.
Oh, that would be
No.
quite an elaborate prank. And in fact, we're going
It would
to we're going to cover some famous pranks. But before we start tonight, I have a poll that I'm going to ask the live chat room. Chat room, I ask you now, do you plan to prank tomorrow, or at least prank it in the spirit of April Fools? So go ahead, chat room, if you would, click on the link that I just pasted in the chat room there, and then we will cover the results at the end of tonight's episode.
Okay.
So we'll get some live votes from our IRC chat. So that'd be
Exciting.
cool. Now, up first, I thought we've got some funny things to share with you tonight. Let's cover a couple of historical little tidbits that we learned on our discovery of April Fools. I mean, I did some research, dude.
You did. I did none. Well,
I was thinking about
I'm learning these things as I read them.
I was
Let's be
thinking,
honest.
how do you approach, this is the first April Fool show I've ever done. How do you approach it? And I thought, well, there's some things I just don't know about it.
Educate yourself.
I'm going to educate myself. So
That's how you start.
Here's the first little factoid I'm going to pull out in your face.
Okay.
April Fool's Day is celebrated all around the world and across many cultures. In fact,
That's interesting.
considered almost all cultures and all religions in some form at some point, either actively or have celebrated April Fools. That's for real. That's not.
That's interesting.
That
'Cause
is interesting.
That means like everywhere in the world, someone's like, too far.
Yeah, that does mean that.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of cool that it's not like an American-centric thing, or it's not like an English-centric thing. It's even like for example, countries such as New Zealand, Ireland, of course, all over the UK, Australia, and South Africa.
So English-speaking places.
Well, just for those,
Right.
The jokes last only until noon, at which point the person who was playing the April Fools was called the April Fool. And that's kind of the more traditional style.
Okay.
But then as it spread out,
Mix it up.
it went to the whole day kind of a thing. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Okay.
The earliest recorded submission of association with the word April Fools and an event was in a book written in 1392.
Yes, this is a famous book. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, it's what is it, Johnny John?
It's Canterbury Tales.
Canterbury Tales.
Yes.
Why is that famous?
It's something you read in English. It's a big, long, epic poem that's kind of dirty and Old English, and it's
really.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's not like it's all dirty. It's just each person tells their tale on their way to the Canterbury.
It has the first found known reference in 1392 of April Fools.
Very interesting.
You want to read these next two facts? Because there's no way.
Okay, so
good luck with these. Pronunciation's rough.
All right. In 1539, Flemish poet Edouard de Den,
Ooh, well done, sir.
I may be mispronouncing that, wrote of a nobleman who sent his servants on foolish errands on April 1st. So kind of a jerk. I bet his
jerk.
I bet his servants were pretty happy
That's
about
in
this.
1539.
And his servants must they must notice the pattern. So they're like, really?
Oh, great.
Really? Do it.
This dick again.
Yeah.
He thinks he's so funny.
All right.
And then we have a more modern one there from actually President Obama.
Yep. Pulls fundings for NASCAR on 2009 on the heels of an auto industry bailout.
You remember that? Yeah, in 2009, that was a big deal.
Yep. The car and driver claimed on his website that President Barack Obama had ordered Chevrolet and Dodge to pull NASCAR funding. The article was removed from the website and replaced with an apology to readers after upset NASCAR fans protested on the car and driver website.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
That's messing with.
It's like an Onion, article taken seriously. So
man, that's like messing with
pretty
the
awesome.
business, though. That's no good. Now there was also, I think, probably moving things more back from 2009 now to the modern day. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of funnier pranks that have been attributed to Google over the years.
Yes.
Do you have any favorites?
Yes, my favorite. They've done quite a few, but the one I like, they just did last year, was the animal translator.
Oh my gosh, I have that.
So I had it on my Droid until last night.
It's called Google Translate for animals.
Mm-hmm. And pretty much you speak into it, and then it tells you choose the animal that you want, and it had everything.
Yeah.
Like not everything. There are quite a few animals that it did not have. Probably more animals that did, but it still would show you how to say what you said, and it would translate it in.
No.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
I cannot confirm its accuracy.
Of course, they launched Google Gmail as a April Fool's, as a real thing, though, but they announced it on April.
Yeah, I remember that because we were working together at the time, and we're like, terabyte, please. Try harder, Google.
Yeah. It was, and I think a lot of people just.
And
thought
it wasn't.
fake.
It was a gig. They were saying gig. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, just sounded like way too much at the time.
Now that's Google.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I actually got the most enjoyment out of when I was doing the research on April Fool's pranks, I thought I'd go see what some better well-known ones that maybe I'd missed out on were. I didn't know this, but I guess it used to be kind of a thing that like the game shows would do. Is like
April Fool's
pranks in the show. And I picked out a couple of my favorites that we got a couple clips here. This first one is this is
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy, that's right.
Yes.
And Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune comes and decides to guess those, and it's great. You got to check this out.
Okay.
And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Pat Sajak.
What? And of course, that was a big to-do. And actually, I read a little bit that he wasn't. It's all good. He wasn't that well received.
Yeah. Well, one is kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say like more elite, but yeah, I think you have to know more stuff to be on Jeopardy than on Wheel of Fortune.
I guess what they did is later on they decided that they still wanted to bring him on because it was funny. And here's what happened is, actually, check this next clip out of Wheel of Fortune. So Alex Trebek pays a visit to Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. And now, here is your host, Alex Trebek.
What a kid! What? Alex Trebek? So, actually, Alex Trebek is really well received. And so
he does really well. He's a professional.
So they want to bring him back, but they don't want to put Pat on.
Right.
So what they do later on is they instead have Pat make several cameo appearances throughout Jeopardy during appropriate moments to sort of level it out.
Remember me, guys?
Yeah. But, not to be left out, actually, The Price is Right is famous for some really funny April Fool's pranks,
This
too.
is all new to me. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome.
Your showcase contains some fabulous
A bit longer one.
collectibles. Beginning with an incredible prize, this brand new limited edition car. Smooth lines
I like how
and small doors
she just
make this a
doesn't get it
vehicle
and
you'll
she's
have a hard
staring.
time stepping into. Enjoy the ride provided with a tiny plastic tire.
Like, okay, that's about
as you
$1.
cruise this vehicle along your kitchen floor. Includes equipment package 34B. Then, how would you like to add to your collection with this pair of new cars? Perfect for cruising.
Wouldn't he be
the living
kind of
room or
angry?
just sitting on a shelf. These vehicles come with standard equipment package plus fuel efficient
Yeah,
non-functional
I would. All right, so I just think that's actually just a great tradition, and I went back through, and Drew Carey has done a bunch too.
Uh-huh.
I think it's kind of a funny thing. So I put some links to those in the show notes if you guys want to check those out. All right, now moving on.
Let's do it.
I wanted to talk a little bit about my first time that I got pranked on the internet.
Okay.
Now,
Nigerian prince.
I was kind of a noob, so this is back. Let me set the stage for you.
Okay.
Picture it, John. April 1st, 2001.
2001.
This is like pre-social news. This is pre-Dig, pre-Twitter.
Like 10 years ago.
So there isn't like a great way to
Almost.
vet stuff all the time. And if you're kind of a news site rookie, or I don't know, maybe I was just a rookie to Slashdot, but I got bit by a Slashdot one like an SOB. Back in April 1st, 2001, Slashdot did a story that they were migrating to free BSD. Now, this was a particularly big deal because this was kind of just after the .com boom, and people were trying to save money, and so they were deploying Linux, Apache, MySQL, and Slashdot was considered one of the major news sites online. You'd get the Slashdot
I bet you freaked out.
I didn't freak out, but I was dumbfounded. Like, it shook me to my foundation. I was like, what? How can this be? And I read that they...
Hey, everybody!
And it's great, dude. You go in here and they have all of these things in here like, well, we really like the improvements to the multi-processing capabilities of the new FreeBSD. They say Linux's disorganization and the fact that it seems like a bunch of unconnected developers tried to write OS with no prior planning agreements has been hard for us at Slashdot to work with the operating system. I mean, just like really rough stuff. And I just remember being like, and I don't remember... But later on, it either clicked with me or I must have maybe read the comments, I'm sure. And I was like, oh, dumbass. So from that point on, which is 10 years ago, I have been just skeptical as an SOB. And that's why I wonder in that poll that we just put out, I'm wondering if one of the options in there is, for people who are a bit grumpy about it. So I'm kind of curious. Anyways, Moving on, Johnny, I know that you had an April Fool's.
Yeah, it's nothing nothing
go
amazing,
ahead,
but
John.
pretty
You
much
can
what
share
happened was very lame April Fool's joke, admittedly. Just total last minute. I was in high school. Friends coming in like, I just hit his bag. Super lame. So he's like, that's not how you do an April Fool's joke. He knew I hated peas. Next day, my lunch bag was filled with peas. I had to toss the whole thing out. It was gross. So I stewed about that for a little while. He had loaned me, and this is a little bit mean. This is actually probably going too far, but he had loaned me previously a VHS of Dragnet, which he owned. I taped over it with QVC, so fine jewelry.
Wow.
And then I put sardines in his locker, and it smelled so bad for a long time on the bottom floor of
This was in response to peas in your bag?
Yeah. I just took it a little too far.
I'm going to make a little mental note.
Yeah, vengeance.
Don't
yeah.
cross John now.
The pig's still in play.
Yeah, that's true. Now, before we get to the poll, I want to give you, if you do actually find the April Fool's stuff interesting, or maybe you don't, and you want to just completely avoid it, because I know right now it's in our chat room right now. It is somebody's birthday on April Fool's Day, so not everyone hates the day, and some people love it. So if you want to celebrate it or avoid it, it's not beautiful, but check out April Fool's Day on theweb.com. Link in the show notes. What it does is it does a good job of tracking not just the really good ones, which is a manageable list that they have here, that what they call their featured, but they also have like all of them that have been submitted, and it's just like this epic, crazy long list. And then they go back and they do like best of and stuff like that. And they also have, which is linked here on this page, a Twitter account you can just follow on Twitter, and they post like all the April Fool's things that are happening on the web.
So you don't get caught off guard.
There you go.
And freak out.
Or if you just want to celebrate them.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump over.
The party.
I'm going to refresh the poll and see what we did. So I asked the chat room, do you plan to prank, right? And
predictable results, I would say.
Questions were, yes, my carefully laid plans are ready for execution. That was 15% of the responses. Coming in at 12%, no way. Bah humbug, not going to do it. Coming in at a meager 8% is I'm taking this year off, which would seem to imply to me that if you're doing it, you're doing it. You know, and you're committed. You're either a prankster or you're not. Then, which came in at a pretty nice 12%, competing with no way at all, is leave me alone. I'll be in my bunker until this crap blows over.
Wouch.
Yeah. But I'm happy to report that bacon came in at a strong 46%.
Right. So as expected.
So 46% of you voted bacon on our April Fool's poll. So thank you for that. We're going to start doing more of those because that's fun.
Yeah.
I like polls.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way to go.
Bacon will have to be a contender, I think, again next time.
Yeah. All right.
See what can oust it.
You know, Johnny, I'm scratching my head, and I think that just wraps us up because, Thursday is the last episode of the week for Jupiter.
Right.
That's pretty nice because that means tonight's my Friday. And we're not doing a Stoked Saturday, just a reminder. I'm kicking around doing a Foundry maybe playthrough. So if you'd be interested in that, hit me up on Twitter. I'm Chris LAS and let me know. And thinking about maybe just doing like a live thing on Saturday, but no official Stoked, just a reminder to folks. And then Last will be live on Sunday at 10 a.m. And we got a really cool show planned.
Early.
Yeah, it is early. It's early on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Tell you what. All right, everyone. And Johnny, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for watching this whole week of Jupiter at Night, and we'll see you right back
Presumptuous.
here. Yeah, I know. Well, I kind of like to encourage.
Yeah.
And also, if you enjoy a particular episode of Jupiter at Night, like last night's episode was, we conceptualized the practical issues of traveling from Earth to Mars in a manned mission.
Yes, with Mars Base.
That's pretty. Yeah, we had we brought on Mars Base from the chat room, and that's a pretty great episode. If you caught that or you haven't yet, go check that out. And if there's a particular episode that really grabbed your fancy, I would really appreciate it if you did us a favor and send it to a friend. Link it out.
That'd be cool.
Let people know. Okay, I think that just about wraps up tonight's episode of Jupiter at Night, and we'll see you right back here Tuesday night.
Gulp.